I have the worst cell phone in the history of mankind, and I doubt anybody can trump me. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Sidekick 4G, the worst phone in history. No, I did not mean for that to rhyme. It's like this phone excels at being useless, and I don't think anybody will ever experience the frustration that I do unless they own one of these. Who gives a fuck about this phone? Let's start with one of the reasons, or the main reason, that it doesn't work. A lack of functionality in general, with everything. If you try to make a phone call, freeze and crash. If you try to send a text message, freeze and crash. Launch an app, freeze and crash. Go to the marketplace, freeze and crash. Unlock the phone, freeze and crash. Write an email, freeze and crash. If you type on it, freeze and crash. Try to put it on speaker during a phone call, freeze and crash. If you touch it, freeze and crash. If you swipe on the phone too fast, freeze and crash. I mean, it's so ridiculous of a problem that at this point I wouldn't be surprised if it just freezes and crashes doing other things that aren't related to the phone. Hey, do you like breathing air? Well, if you do, too bad, because if you own this phone, it'll freeze and crash. If you're on your computer, this phone will freeze and crash. If you're watching this video right now, it'll freeze and crash. Hell, if I look at it the wrong way, the phone will freeze and crash. Don't do it. Don't do it. Ah! If you don't get it by now, the only thing this phone does successfully is freeze and crash. Ha 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 ha. Well, that is because you're such a silly person. You're not gauche and hip enough to own an iPhone on the iOS. If you did, you would never have this problem. Only hip people decide to spend an unnecessary amount of cash on something that doesn't even use the real internet. Fuck that, and whoa, slow your roll. Before you even think about it, or anybody even says anything, I have no problem with the Android service. As a matter of fact, I love the Android service. In talking about cell phones, I could marry the Android service. Yeah, it's that fucking awesome. The problem is not with the Android service at all. Plus, I mean, who the fuck wants to, alright, what kind of real functioning mind wants to drop $600 on a device that has to use YouTube mobile and doesn't even have the real internet? Flash, bitches! But this is not about iOS versus Android. I'm just saying, before some, like, you know, douche comes in and it's like, oh, you don't have an iPhone, that's what's your problem. No, ass clown, I bought a really bad phone. That's my problem. And it's not even like Sidekicks are bad phones. I've had all of them and they've been fucking fantastic until this one. And you would think that an Android power Sidekick would be fucking awesome, and the idea is, but that's not what I got. Instead, what I got was a fucking phone that doesn't work. It's only reliable to be unreliable. Oh, also, I've seen some people who are really delusional about this phone, so far to the point that they decide to, on forums, blame the user, the owner, for what's going on with their phones. Ghost touching, freezing, crashing, apps not launching, things freezing and crashing when you try doing it, the phone resetting itself, the phone freezing until you remove the battery. Trust me, none of this shit is the fault of the user, and nothing on T-Mobile's support service is going to help you get that phone. I should know that the T-Mobile service won't help you get that phone working, because I'm gonna go on from my third, to my fourth phone, which pretty much tells you it's not you if you're having 4 fucking phones all having the same symptoms, the same fucking problems. It's software in the phone that they happen to fuck up in. I don't know what it is in particular, there's a lot of speculation, but the problem is the software with the phone not working well, which leads to this phone being extraordinarily crappy. Which is sad too, because it could have been freaking amazing. And the thing I don't understand is why T-Mobile just doesn't recall this freaking phone. Yes, I know recently they just announced that they retired it. I'm not the only person who's suffering through these problems. There are countless amount of people. I mean, just fucking searching, you know, Sidekick 4G sucks, and you'll see everybody sharing a similar amount of problems. Maybe in the first month it works, but afterwards, psh, forget about it. But T-Mobile refuses to recall this phone. Why? It straight up does not work, and they lose money. Okay, if I break my contract, which is just $200, I'm saving more money than I would if I just kept on going with the phone. Trust me, a full-blown unlimited plan is $100. So if I just drop $2 to cancel this fucking contract and move on, I've saved a lot more money than if I waited until my contract expired, depending on how long. In my case, well over 180 days. So that's $200. And if I were to keep my contract, I think that's like what, $500-600 that I would spend? Yeah, cancel my contract is far better. Plus, if you're a person like me who will just tell them, hey, go fuck yourself, put my name to a credit union or something like that to go call me for the money, and I won't answer the phone because I never got service to begin with, so there's no use to give me a termination fee. Hey, that's more of a threat to them. Psh, what are they gonna do? Cancel a service that I never had in the first place? On a phone that I'm not using? Yeah, I pretty much thought so. And on top of that, even if you do pay it off, it's cheaper and it saves you more money in the long run. And for those who can't because of some type of situation that's going to cost them a lot more money, it's not worth it for T-Mobile. I mean, because you could just do what I'm doing and troll them and keep calling them for fucking stuff just for the sake of shits and giggles to give them a hard time. I mean, they lose money. They have to send you another phone. That's a phone that wasn't sold. They're not making any money off of that, okay? And I mean, they have to pay for the shipping and handling, so it's not like, you know, you're spending anything aside from walking to a UPS box. So yeah, I mean, they'll send you batteries for free, they'll send you phones for free, and usually they'll send it in between, what, 24, 48 hours? So yeah, you don't stand to lose anything if you decide to troll them. Still, this is how ridiculous it is. They'd rather lose money than just break your contract or recall the phone. I mean, hell, me and people like me are often willing to just be like, hey, give me another phone, right? Break some kind of deal with me and so we can keep the contract. No, we can't do that. So there's no winning in the end. Now, just to tell you, when this phone did work, right, and when it decides to work, it's amazing. I did a speed test versus the iPhone 4 and it destroyed it. Obviously, because it has access to Flash, it uses real YouTube, real internet, and just simply performed better. And I could listen to an array of podcasts and download all kinds of games and stuff. It was awesome. Until it decided to stop working. That's not to say that T-Mobile produces bad phones. I mean, until this one, all the Sidekicks were great, and they tend to make quality phones in my opinion. It's just that the Sidekick 4G was their only garbage phone, and this is coming from somebody who loves the Sidekick lines. But hey, fuck it, I'm done. Come the fall, I'm gonna get myself a sexy, oh so sexy, will you marry me type of sexy Samsung Galaxy S3. Woo! So fine. And I'm gonna cancel my contract, take my phone number onto that phone, pay less, and get on my merry way. And hey, if I feel like it, I may decide to pay them or not. That just depends. But yeah, don't get this phone. Avoid it like the plague. Hell, avoid it like fucking if Snooki wanted to ask you for a date. I don't know, I had to pick some disturbing looking woman. But yes, if you're thinking about getting this phone, if you had previous Sidekicks that were awesome and you decided, hey, this could work for me on the Android service or a better smartphone, don't do it. Because you won't be getting a good, well-functioning phone. As a matter of fact, just intensively use it within the 30 days and you'll watch how much of a piece of shit it really is. And then return it for a phone that works better. Fuck. Get a G2 or the ever so sexy G3 and you should be A-okay. Well, if you excuse me, I gotta go be frustrated some more with my phone. Later.
Do not bring that trash to